Probably about 5 years ago, I ran into a problem. I got addicted to methamphetamines. Then there happened to be a random drug screen at work, and I got caught. And once you get caught, everything changes. I mean, you first you start to look at who you let down. Let my family down. And then I was actually, at the time, I was president of our union. Then I was like, man, I let all those guys down. They all voted me in. And then just a little bit deeper, you look at yourself. I let myself down, because that's not the way I was taught. And it grabbed me and it took me.
We look at these employees as investments. We look at them as coworkers, friends. We get to know one another. I think Tory right now has a greater appreciation for his life, which leads to a greater appreciation of his job.
You lose your job, man, the whole bottom falls out, and it could have just spiraled downhill. So it meant everything to me to put my foot forward and get myself some help, and then to be able to keep my job. So it really meant everything.
I like to believe, at least now when I see him in town, I know maybe I played a part in helping him flip his life right side up.
I dealt a lot with people that have addiction, and we've always left it up to the employees to find their own outlet, find their own counselor, find what works for them, whatever it takes to get them healed.
That's the bottom line. That's the investment we made in him 25 years ago, and it's still paying off.
I mean, everything falls in line once you get the recovery and you see what it was doing to yourself, to your work, to your family. And once you see that, hey, when that alarm clock goes off, get up, you go to work, go do your job, you be productive, and you be a good employee.
They just end up being better employees because they have a different outlook on life. An employee who's in rehab is just as good as anybody else, as far as I'm concerned.
You don't want to kick somebody when they're down, because they're just going to keep on going down that hole. I mean, if you give them a few resources and get them some help, they can come back and be a good employee.
There's a very, very high chance that this person didn't get into this position because they chose to.
I think it goes back to stigma. I think you're basing a person's credibility on the worst time of their life, not the current time of their life. Once a person's in recovery, that's behind them. That's my thought.
You got to pull your head out of the sand and realize that people who are in recovery may be standing much closer to you than you realize.
And luckily, I went out, seek some counseling, and I've been, that's 5 years ago, I've been recovery or free, meth free for 5 years.